So in a previous video, I built this boom. I bought this harvester head here and I had it out for a test ride. I can link that video down in the comments if you want to see that first, if you haven't. But the thing we're going to do in this now, we're going to finish this. So something I want to do is that I want to install a hydraulic cylinder onto this so I can get this thing extended. Another thing we need to do is that we need to build 2 new outlets from the excavator. As it is right now, I only have 2 functions. One to use the rotator and one for the harvester head. So I still want to be able to use this grapple here and the coming extension cylinder here. Yeah, I'm also gonna paint this thing, making that ready, so yeah. So let's go search for this cylinder here. Oh, well, we take another one. Let's take this thing. The ice is starting to open up now. Maybe it's best not going that way. Maybe this thing could fit for that. There's been an equal cylinder to that stuck here also. I remember I took that off a lot of years ago, so let's go find that. I think I know where it is. This is an old railroad machine I bought from a mining company. I used a lot of parts from this. It was a good buy. And I also like to use old machine parts when building something. It's like you take a little bit of that soul, transferring that to the new machine. So, I don't know, it feels good. The sun is making this snow so soft right now. Look at that. You know the spring is coming when you can start to see your parts again. That is the same cylinder I took off. Like that. This is a rather good fit for this. It's not gonna extend it too much so it gets too weak. So why don't we go back and unscrew the base that was stuck here? Maybe we could reuse that. I also gotta need to find myself a tire for my car. Let's bring some tool. I think that was held together with 24. This road is a little rough right now this time of the season, so I think I already changed like 3 tires, so I needed another spare. I gotta take that off so it doesn't restrict the flow here. Okay. So before lifting this off, you need to secure this with a bolt here. No, now it can fall. So I'm gonna connect this to the machine, seeing that it's not leaking. So if I put pressure here, it's not supposed to leak out from there. We had a little bit of water coming out from that, but other than that, it looks good. I put pressure on that and it's not pushing through. I do not want this old oil back in my machine, so I'm just gonna push it out there. So this thing works. So this thing is pressurized now. I feel the hose is hard. And that doesn't leak through that way either. So we're gonna take this off and we're gonna mount this thing. So I just gonna let it drip like this for a while. Okay, so this is how I plan to have it installed. Something like that. At first I was thinking about building this inside here. It's possible doing that. But yeah, it's way easier having it just laying on top here. Okay, it's not possible having it like that, but like this is possible. So we're doing like that. So, and this thing will extend, see how much that was, 75. So from there to around this much. Let's see how much we got left inside here. Okay, that much. So I mean, we still got, well, quite a lot to support this beam, so that's good. To get this stuck here, and we also gonna need 4 more holes for the new connectors onto this piece here. So why don't we reuse this template I made when I made the bottom piece there. Could get something from this. This is just some cutting compound to make the drill last a little bit longer. So the hole going above here, that is for a smaller hose, so we're gonna need to change the drill. let's make a part that strengthens all the way to here. I also thinking I might want to build something. If I need to lift this entire thing, I could just hook like a chain onto here. That. And make a piece that goes, well, it can sit like that. Okay, we got the good length there. Let's do 45 degrees coming up here and then just straight there. So the plan was just doing like this. Sure. So this hole here, we need to make that bigger. That is only 90 millimeter and I need to get it up to 20. Look at this, we got an old radio here. Program 1, program 2. You didn't really have that much to choose from back in the days. I think the last thing this was announcing was the war. Okay, so this is well done now. Let's put this back and start looking at the hydraulics for this. So I got some more hydraulic stuff. So I got some Hirschman contacts. I do have a new valve. And we got a lot of new hose. And some couplers. More of the press fittings. Yeah, and I also got these couplers here. So this is a lot of quick connectors. You know what? I just realized I forgot to buy to order these. So this is stuff I used when I was building the crusher, support leg for the crusher. I used the same kind of thing. The only problem now is that these are 1/2 inch. The pipe I bought for this is 3/8, so that is not gonna fit, so we're not gonna be able to use this pipe. So the plan was using these pipes here. That connected to the inlet there, and this connected there. And having the pilot operated check valve here. It doesn't matter, we can still use normal hose going here. It feels better using this. These things are going here. So this is a cheap hydraulic press I got for pressing the hose. So I kind of bought this just to have something to start off with, something cheap there. My plan is to buy another quality press for the actual garage later on and having this in my car when going out on jobs and stuff like that. I could just press some hoses and have them with me in my car. So yeah, but the plan is I want to get rid of this hand pump. That thing is gonna drive you crazy. So I got this air to hydraulic pump. So you can use this instead. It's gonna be way easier. So I don't have the patience going with this. So I did buy some BSP to NPT fittings. I'm guessing this is NPT, so. That doesn't look like NPT fitting. Yeah. So I'm on my way to town. I gotta see if the local workshop got something. So we're gonna go and check that out. Oh, look at that. I mean, while you're still in town, you kind of need to get. So I'm not sure about the English name for this, but I can link everything in the description there, together with these kind of couplers, if you want something similar like this. We can do that, but we need to seal this thing with thread tape. NPT couplers like thread tape. Okay. So then we got a sealing here, because this has got to bottom out and seal to that. So we don't need any more thread tape. Let's make a hose for this. I do have this banu fittings for BSP we can use here to get more of a flush installation. Gonna need seals for that. That's 3/8. That and this is going here. I'll put this thing here. Right, let's press this hose here. So if we have that, it's coming there. And we can have this thing sitting. It's not in the way if it's here, so. Let's try this thing. I gotta weld a holder for this. We can screw it on there. It's gonna be a... Do we need to move that thing? It's not really that flexible when it's getting this short. Gonna need to move this a little bit forward. Not much though, but... Oh, I got so much good to have stuff in these drawers. That is something I gotta sort out when I get my shelving. Look at this thing. It's a big welding electrode. So this is this is for the stick welder, not the one I have though. Mine is a little bit too small for that. Oh, here it is. Okay, so we got two selector valves. I'm gonna use them, but I'm not gonna use them as I initially thought. My first plan was to build extra functions for the excavator itself, but I'm just gonna install these selector valves here instead. The positive thing with that is I gotta get rid of hoses. If I would have done as I initially thought, that would mean that I would have 8 hoses going from this thing hanging onto the machine. If I connect the selector valve straight onto this instead, I will still just have 4 hoses with everything connected and just a power cable going to the cabin there with the selector switch. So I gotta do that instead. That is gonna be for using this grapple and this extension. What if we put this here? If we weld this stuck here, so this hose is going to be straight at least. So if we start with that and then we just make everything else fit. So it's not possible. This 90-degree coupler, this is how far I can get it in. You see, it's like a, it's like a hump here. I gotta try if I can get these dies out a little bit. Yeah, I had to bring out the dies a little bit here, but there is a chance to crack them when doing that. So I'm not gonna do any more 90-degree couplers with this machine. Okay, so since I can't press 90-degree couplers, luckily I did order 4 of these. So, oh no, can't that? Ooh, that was exact. That is gonna sit like. So yeah, I could use the other 90s coming in like this. Kind of need them here, but we're using them here instead. Okay, let's cut that off. So this hose is going on the other side of this. All the hoses are pressed for this. The remaining hoses here, those 2 are going for the machine. So we're gonna put them on later, but so it's time to install this. What if we put that here? We have the sensitive stuff collected here if we need to build some kind of cage or something to protect this. So this thing came with a mounting plate. Could get that to sit rather perfect here. That hole is coming, oh, just too big. I don't know, it doesn't matter if it's covering the pin from this side. But if you want to hit that out, it's easier having that pin free too. So I'm gonna take off a little bit there and here. All right, so these two holes are going for the harvester, these two holes are going for the grapple, and these are going to the machine. So in this we are gonna need 90-degree couplers, otherwise it's gonna look really weird. These are going there and on the other side there. So I believe I'm able to press these couplers. These are bigger than that. They are a little bit longer, but we're gonna check that. Hopefully I can. Otherwise we're gonna have a problem. So that is gonna go there. Okay. As it is right now, you see I don't even get this in here. So if I press this out a little bit, this thing here is gonna get pushed in. So we're gonna get some more working room. You can see now this thing is getting pushed in and that is coming further out. Hopefully enough. Okay, now it's starting to squeeze almost. So I think we can do this actually. It's just so I can't put these kind of dies here. That is the stop for them on the back side. On the front side it's not gonna be enough room, so we're gonna need to do it on the back side. But I think this is gonna be exact, but it's possible. Now start pressing. Open that up again. And then we can get it a little bit more in. Yeah, this is gonna work. Let's see that. Okay, so this works. You know what, I started to think that maybe it's possible to actually press that smaller hose also. You just need to work it like I did here. When I pressed that, I didn't really look that thorough. I gotta just wait for that. So we're gonna, yeah, I'm gonna try pressing another 90-degree fitting with that later on. Maybe it is possible. Oh, we could have it like that. Like that. So these valves that's sitting here now are put to a risk when working with this in the forest. So if I'm picking up a tree here and it's other trees standing close by here, there is a big risk I'm gonna squeeze that into a tree and damage the solenoids and rip in the contacts. So we're gonna build some kind of protection to stop that. I'm thinking, what if we make two pieces like this? One sitting here, one sitting here. And having those, like making a cage and being able to lift that away if you need to do something, but still see through when it's on. Enough so it only protects this. So we could use piping between here, like bars. We got 2 of those. At first I thought make something to cover over this, but now let's do something that stuck underneath here instead. So I could make a mounting plate screwed in, having this going up here and the other one coming up there. I don't see a need to protect it above. Is there a need for that? So I'm gonna make a mount so I can screw this underneath here. So I'm thinking 2 bolts to hold this. If we have one there and the other one coming maybe here. Like that. And then we can weld some bars maybe there. I think that's good. Let's weld them like that. So I didn't put any net below here, since it's just gonna trap debris and stuff like that. So now it can just fall through. I think the most important stuff are protected now. The danger is coming in this angle, not really from above here. I could build a hatch, but nah, let's skip that. Let the thing breathe a little bit. So the initial plan was to put another round bar in the middle here for that, but it's just in the way for the connectors coming here. So that is stuck. So I'm thinking about having these getting connected here. We're gonna make a quick connector coming here. So the reason I want quick connectors for the grapple is that I can bolt this thing off if I just want to use the grapple on the machine. Let's do a quick connector coming here. So I'm going to need these smaller connectors, 3/8, for that. So we're gonna see if we can actually press this. I think we could press this 90-degree couplers if we put in some effort in that. So these are a little bit shorter. Go in like that. Okay, so this is as far as it goes. But if we squeeze that one just a little bit, like that, and then we back up. So, come on. Okay, so it's possible to crimp these smaller connections also. It's a little bit, I mean, you gotta work with it a little bit, but it's possible, so yeah. Okay, let's drill that hole. So we can press the hoses later. I think it's time to start prepping this for paint. Okay, so I got this thing I'm gonna start using. So I talked about this in a previous video. I bought this to use under the welding helmet, but it was kind of possible, but that was a tight squeeze. Yeah, so I got this fresh air helmet instead. Yeah, this is going here. There we go. Fully charged. Hello. So So Gramps just put on his timber trailer on his tractor. He's gonna go and pick up the birches in a previous episode I cut down when doing the testing with my harvester there. So I'm guessing he's gonna need some help. I'm not sure he can access all of the logs. So yeah, well, let's go look at that. Seems like he's taken most of the logs. I didn't know he already been here. There was a lot of logs left there. Well, here are some more. Look at the one there he might have a problem getting. Well, I guess we can pull these out. This saw seems to be leaking oil. A lot of that. So even though it looked dry, there's always condensation left. When you start heating that, you can see it more clearly. So the mailman was just here, dropping this off. So I decided to build myself a complete assortment with BSP couplers inside the garage for future hydraulic pressing and stuff like that. So I also got myself a quality crimping press. I mean the one I got now in the garage. If you're gonna press a few couplers now and then, it works just fine for that. But I seeing myself pressing a lot of couplers, building a lot of different stuff. So I want a quality brand that's gonna last and give me the proper lifetime of the crimps I'm doing. So I think it's worth the investment in then having quality stuff. Oh, there's a lot of pressure gauges. So this is a future project. I gotta build storage for this inside the garage. Everything gonna have its proper drawer and box. It's gonna be a fun build. Yeah. So one thing with having too little couplers when starting to do something is that you usually use more couplers to reach the function you want. So if I have the one coupler I need, I use one coupler. But if I don't have that coupler, I'm gonna use 3 or 4 couplers to get to the correct sizing and whatever I want. So that is, so in the end, I mean, it's more expensive not having the correct couplers. Kinda, in the end, I think. These are the colors I got at home. So I got dark gray, light gray, and red, all corresponding to the machine's color. I don't have enough of the red. I kind of like the red though, but it's not even half. So I think I gotta go with the dark gray. I got a lot of that. So while that is drying, I'm gonna finish grinding this. I also think I'm gonna weld this lifting point here, in case I need to lift this sometime. Well, I'm gonna paint this too. So I'm just gonna spray paint this so it dries rather fast. So I got black, would probably fit really good there, but I also got orange. I kinda wanna use this. We're gonna go with the orange here. I gotta connect the hoses to the machine now so we can extend this, seeing how long we're gonna need to make the hoses coming here. But we're gonna test this thing. So we're gonna need to energize this solenoid in order to get this out. When this is not energized as it is right now, when I start this, the oil is gonna spray out of this hose and on the other side there, going for the harvester. And when this magnet is energized, it's gonna send the oil through here, through a cylinder. The diode on that thing should light up when it's energized. Just some extra safe there. So I forgot to tighten this. But this thing works. It's always a great feeling seeing your stuff starting to come to life when you build something. It was a little bit of a hassle getting this pilot operated check valve to work. I had to jerk that a little bit about. So the thing with this is that it needs pilot pressure to open. So if I'm sending in flow here, it needs return flow to open the check valve inside of this in order to function. Yeah, well, that's the main thing of this. If I have this extended or in whatever position I want and I break a hose, this thing is just going to stay in that position. Doesn't matter in this contraption though. But the reason I got this is to avoid, when I'm switching function, when I'm having this, if I want this the furthest out I can, and I switch the function to the harvester there, the thing I don't want is, if this thing is letting a little bit of oil through, that thing will start to sneak back. So this thing blocks that. Since I'm not sending any pressure on these lines, it's gonna lock this function. So wherever it is, it's staying there. Okay, so let's fix the hoses going here, put on the rotator, and try the grapple there. Okay. There. Much that can. So it's going the other way. I put it down wrong. Let's fix that. Oh. I'm gonna do a test, seeing how it looks like that. Okay, so I want to try how it looks with straight copper also. If that is better or if it's worse. So going with straight couplers like this also works, so I gotta go with that. I got more of the straight ones, and they're also easier to crimp. So I made these hoses going to the grapple there. I'm gonna connect are going to that one here. Whoa. So that is the function now. If I don't have power to any of the solenoids, everything is gonna work like normal. So I could basically run this without having any power to this. So if I want to use the grapple and lengthening this, we need power onto these. So let's try the grapple also, seeing so that works. Yeah, let's use the Musta tape. It's alive. Nothing seems to be leaking. No hose has exploded yet. There was some dripping here, but I think that was leftover oil. So now when you can get this up, you can get down with the grapple if you want to grip something. As it is, in this configuration, this is furthest down, you can't really grip anything with the grapple here. But when you push this up, you can reach to grip, or you can use that to get the undercarriage, moving that. Oh, this feels so good. So we're gonna call the quits here. I don't have all the stuff needed to connect these cables to the machine. I gotta order the connector coming here. I probably gonna need to order cable. I will see about the switches. I'm not sure if I gotta put normal switches or if I gotta put like a switch panel. So in the next video, we're just gonna finish up the electric and then we're gonna take this out the forest and we're gonna test this thing for real. So I'm only done some testing with this as it is now. I don't have any experience yet, really. I took down a few trees, the one we were with Gramps collecting there, just to test this thing. So it's still some tuning left, probably to get this to run perfectly with my machine. And we're gonna take Gramps with us. He's gonna be the tree collector. I'm taking them down and he picking them up in his little forest trailer there. We're gonna activate protocol Gramps. Yeah, so see you next time. I gotta spend the rest of the day cleaning everything up here.